All right, so now hopefully by this time you've had the chance to take a look at B, solving it with the method of clearing the denominator, which we just did, which I'm going to actually run through with you right now before I show you the other method. So, as before when I ran out of room, I'm going to attempt to make a line and do this again. So we start off here by looking at this and saying, all right, what's my common denominator? In this case, my LCD is going to be 30. The nice part is 6 is 6 over 1, so it works with whatever we want. So we start off with h over 5 times 30 over 1 plus 5 over 6 times 30 over 1 equals 6 times 30. The nice part is we don't have to put over 1 because they're both whole numbers. So when we go through this, I see that 5 and 30 have a common factor of 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, 30 divided by 5 is 6. That gives me 6 times h, which is 6h. 6 and 30 and 5 6 times 30 over 1 has a common factor of 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1, 30 divided by 6 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Now on the other side of the equal sign, I take 6 times 30, which is 180, and I know that so quickly because 6 times 3 is 18, add a 0 on the end. So now when I go through to solve this, I know that I need to create this equation, I would not add, but instead I would multiply by 6 on both sides and then add 25. So when I go ahead and make my U-turn and undo that, I am going to be subtracting 25 and dividing by 6. And so therefore, because I am doing that, I'm going to go ahead and solve this. To subtract by 25 on both sides, giving me these canceling out, 6h equals 2, and I can't take 0 minus 5, so I'm going to borrow from the 8, make it 7, 0 becomes 10, 10 minus 5 is 5, 7 minus 2 is 5, and 1, so I have 155. Now I'm going to go ahead and divide by 6, which cancels my 6's, giving me h. 6 goes in, does it go into 155? Well, my rule is it is not even, so it is not divisible by 6 evenly. 6 goes into 15 twice. So in case you're wondering how I'm getting this, goes in twice, which is 12. 3 left over. Bring down the 5. 6 goes into 35 5 times, which is 30. So I have 5 left over out of 6. Now, knowing that that is my answer, I'm going to go ahead and go about it through my other method. The other method I was talking about is getting that common denominator and getting equivalent fractions. So knowing that my common denominator is 30, I would say, well, to get from 5 to 30, I am going to multiply by 6, which means I multiply by 6 up here. To get to 30, I need to multiply by 5 here, which means I multiply by 5 here. And therefore, then I don't have to worry about that 6 on the other side. So when I do that, I get 6h over 30. And really I can say, well, I need to multiply this by 32 because I multiply this by 30. Just because we can keep the common denominators the same. 6h plus 30 plus 5 times 5 is 25 over 30 equals 180 over 30. Now if you notice, the top, all the numerators put together is the same thing as the denominators, or sorry, the other equation on the other side if you look over here. So now when I go about solving this, this is a matter of adding and subtracting with fractions. So first I'm going to subtract 25/30ths from both sides. Oops, I apologize. And because we've already gone through this problem, I know that this cancels giving me 6h over 30. And then this equals, as I know from before, 155 over 30. Now, some of you look at this and go, oh shoot, I'm gonna have to do all sorts of work. Well, one of the things you can do is clearing the denominator kind of in essence by saying, well, first this is h times 6 and then divide by 30. So I'm going to undo the divide by 30 by multiplying by 30, which then gives us 6h equal to 155. And then we're right back where we were before, dividing by 6 to give me h is equal to 2 5/6. Now I know that looking at this, the second method to me, this one right here, seems a little bit more confusing and a little bit more work, plus it's dealing with fractions. So my suggestion would be to work on clearing the denominator. Now if you have questions about this, please make sure you bring those questions to class tomorrow. There is one more video you will need to watch, so please take a minute to look this over, see if you have any questions, and then go ahead and watch the last video.